This podcast is not intended to provide nor replace medical advice from a qualified medical professional. Tom stands over the ball and takes one last look at his target. Facing this forced carry over water normally causes him more anxiety than a nail would feel in a room full of hammers. But not today. Tom has been practicing this very shot on the range all week, and he's confident. He takes the club back and then leans into the shot as the club swings a brilliant arc through the ball. The sound is absolutely perfect, and for a split second he pictures it going in the hole. But as he looks up, he realizes it is going to do everything but go in the hole. He's caught it high on the face, and it's ballooning in the air without any real speed. There's no fate for it other than joining its predecessors in the watery depths, lost to time and mud. Tom lets out a sigh and attempts to reconcile the stark difference between what he expected the ball to do and what it actually did. And then the anger begins to well up inside. Minor at first, like a tickle, but quickly it's a raging fire. And now Tom is doing everything he can to suppress it because he knows just how easily it can ruin his round. The tragedy, though, is that 3 holes from now, when Tom flubs a chip, he'll remember this shot and have twice the work just to keep from throwing his wedge into the trees. Not because it was a poor shot, or that it went into the water again, but that it did not match his expectations, and he will still be holding on to that well into his round. Our journey today is with expectations and our relationship to them. We'll explore methods of working with them to maximize our performance and enjoyment. My name is Patrick, and this is The Mind Game. Without expectations, we would never improve nor succeed. When we develop expectations, we are setting the foundation for our performance and progression. We also set the conditions for evaluation of our process and the validity of our goals. In fact, our expectations are the mechanism that carry our goals forward. Having high expectations is perfectly normal. High expectations are a necessary component of our process for achievement of our goals. I can think of no highly successful person who doesn't hold high expectations of themselves. In developing expectations, a balanced approach, where we are aware of the line that exists between high expectations and those that are impossible, is key. For instance, my stock 3-wood shot carries 240 yards. Most of the time, we would consider it an impossible expectation for me to hit the ball 270 yards. But on rare occasions, with the correct conditions, 270 yards is simply a high expectation of my ability. It is my humble opinion that, if we choose to have expectations for our performance and progress, high expectations are the only logical decision. Anything else limits our opportunity to excel and may even interfere with our simple enjoyment of an activity. And this is where I believe we have an opportunity to rethink our approach and relationship with the concept of expectation management. Most people approach expectation management by manipulation of the expectation itself. That is to say that it is common to believe reduction or elimination of our expectations is an appropriate method of ensuring our mental and emotional stability. But what's the value in reduction of our expectations? Aren't we simply attempting to fool ourselves into believing that what we achieved is what we wanted to achieve? What if we don't manage to meet our lowered expectations? Do we lower them further? Is it even possible to eliminate them altogether? Do we try harder to achieve them in order for us to feel satisfaction? More importantly, what is our mental and emotional state while all of this is going on? Can we be present in the moment while we are playing Hack the Brain? How much energy are we willing to spend on the mental gymnastics routine of expectation manipulation? Instead, consider the idea that holding on to our expectations past contact with the ball is the cause of the frustration, anger, and disappointment we feel on the golf course. A healthy relationship with our expectations is one in which we engage with them and then release them once they no longer benefit our process. This creates a supportive environment that allows us to have high expectations while playing freely and without restrictions. Without the burden of unfulfilled expectations weighing on our mind, Our mental state remains more level. Its peaks and valleys are not as extreme. We think more clearly, which allows us to recognize negative emotional states easier and return from those states rapidly with less effort. The better our relationship is with our expectations, the better we are able to make intelligent and appropriate choices on the course. A level state of emotion also requires much less energy to maintain, which frees us up to achieve and enjoy more. So let's explore how to build that healthy relationship with our expectations. The key lies in a small change to our pre-shot routine. If you don't already have a pre-shot routine, I can't stress enough the importance of one. There are many resources online that can help you build one. We also have our own pre-shot routine episode in the works, so stay tuned. Regardless of if you have a set routine or not, nearly every single golfer I know visualizes the shot they want to hit. At the very least, they will pick a direction and have an idea of the distance they want the ball to fly. In addition, they may also consider the shot shape and a swing feel in order to generate that shape. All of these are expectations for the results of their shot. So as part of the process of every golf shot we hit, we develop expectations for results. To our pre-shot routine, we will add an expectation release process. It is remarkably simple and accomplishes a host of benefits for our mental state. First, it gives physical reality to our expectations. It is much easier to leave something behind when we can physically walk away from it. It also allows us to identify what our expectations are and work with them instead of them working us behind the scenes. Second, because they now have physical reality, we are able to understand what our expectations are and deliberately assess and modify them to fit our situation. Lastly, because the expectation release activities are not limited to our pre-shot routine, we will have developed the ability to release any lingering expectations that we haven't let go of. For instance, we remember a 3-putt with a tinge of anger instead of curious indifference. We can use an expectation release activity to quickly let go of the expectation and leave it behind as we move forward through the round. The key to success is to remember that we are giving our expectations a physical presence so that we are able to release them and avoid unfairly judging the results. The following is merely one of the many methods you can use to execute the expectation release process. Please do not feel that you have to stick to, or even use, this particular method. Do keep in mind, though, that the ability to walk away from the expectation is the primary path by which we reach the goal of expectation release. This method has 4 steps. Step 1. Once you have built your expectations for the shot, pick up an object off the ground. It can be a rock, a stick, a broken tee, a leaf, anything really. Step 2. Hold the object in your hand and give that expectation to the object. There's nothing fancy here, and this step doesn't require you to break out your ritualized dance pants. Just imagine that your expectations for the shot now rest with the object and not inside your head. Step 3. Place the object in your pocket and then continue through your shot. Step 4. When your shot is complete, remove the object from your pocket and toss it aside, leaving your expectation for the shot behind you as you move forward. An important note here is that, like any skill, the expectation release process takes time for you to become efficient. If you don't have immediate success, please remember that any discouragement you may experience is just the result of another expectation you can practice releasing. It is also possible to complete the entire process in your imagination, meaning the physical location and your movement away from it is simply visualized. I strongly encourage you to also engage this activity in your daily life. You will find it becomes valuable to you in so many situations that you will begin performing the activity without actually noticing. You will begin to objectively assess your emotional state, identify the expectation that you are holding on to, and initiate the release process. You will discover that your response to other people's behavior is governed by your own expectations. Situations like getting cut off in traffic or encountering a rude cashier will be just situations. You'll also find that normally frustrating situations like stubbing your toe or spilling a drink carry little to no emotional effect. As we come to a close, remember, expectations are a normal part of our progress and help us to navigate our goals. Holding on to our expectations past the result is the primary cause of the anger, frustration, and disappointment we feel on the golf course and in everyday life. Actively and deliberately engaging the simple process of expectation release is the best way to manage our relationship with expectations and ensure our best performance and enjoyment. Thank you so much for listening to The Mind Game, and until next time, fix your divots, repair your ball marks, and enjoy yourselves out there.